Hey guys, Tails here. Now I know what you're thinking. What are you doing in open mic night? Didn't this place die with 2018? Well, I am very pleased to tell you that although it does not pull in the numbers and the amount of instances it once did, open mic night is still here, it's still hanging in there, and it still has a small, dedicated community around. I joined on an old friend last night who I hadn't seen in 2 years, and I ended up just staying here for 2 hours. I just intended to join, say hello, and leave, but I just ended up staying because the level of performances and just all the energy in the room was just so great. I actually felt we were in a public instance and it felt like a Friends Plus because there was so much positivity, encouragement, and really great acts going on here. And I am very pleased to say that I was proven wrong about open mic night. It's just kind of like, that little hidden gem coffee shop on the corner where everybody goes to perform and it's only known to the locals, but there's some real talent there. That is the state of open mic night right now, and I think it is definitely worth some love because I see people performing in the Black Cat and stuff all the time, and they're just on stage performing, and they're all kind of spread out. But what open mic night used to do was provide a place where these people could all come together and perform in front of an audience. I think something like open mic night needs to come back, and I really hope that the owner of this world or someone steps forward, makes an open mic night too. Keep the world the same, fix up the sound a little bit. Open mic night Discord, definitely a must because the community needs somewhere to gather, and I think a really positive and encouraging community could come out of this based on the public world I was in last night. And of course, unfortunately, this world is PC, so make it Quest compatible. This world would be so simple to make Quest compatible. I think this is the kind of thing that VRChat is missing. Back in 2017, we just had all this stuff, and I think we took it for granted as time moved on, the game evolved. We just kind of lost a little piece of us that, made us unique and special, and it's still there. It's not what it used to be, but I think the newer community coming in needs to learn about these old places and find the same love in them that we once did, and hopefully those old people will come back and find that love again. That is open mic night, and we're not nearly done here, no. Pull up a seat, chill out, and I will show you guys around this place and share with you the experience I had in one evening of open mic night in a public instance. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised, as I was too. Alright, welcome to the stage. Your host for the evening is me. We are on the stage, and if you are performing on open mic night, this is where you're going to be. This stage does project your voice so you can be heard very well by the audience, and the audience are very nicely put on a low level, so you're not really going to be able to hear them when they're up here, but they are most definitely going to be able to hear you. There is something else I need to cover. Behind me are the curtains, and that is where people stand in line. Now, I was told that there are 2 lines on either side, and you tend to alternate between the two, like switching between the two, I assume, so that the line doesn't get too long in one direction. But that's something to note. You will be switching between the 2 sides, but please take note that anything said behind the curtains will project around the world at the same volume as the performer does. So when you're standing back there, please be respectful of your fellow performers, stay quiet, and let them perform, and once they're done, have a little chat again. It's all about being respectful here at open mic night. Just as you would at any other play or any other performance, you would be quiet and respect the performers. So it's asked that you show that same respect here, and if you're not showing that same respect, I'm not in control of what other people in the lobby will do to you, because they will most definitely show you the door. I witnessed that a lot. They were not afraid to vote to kick if you were being a distraction, and rightly so. You are here to perform, listen to other performers, give everyone the same fair chance that you expect and the same respect that you expect from them. And of course, if you're in the audience and you're here to watch, please watch, and if you want to talk, respawn, head into the lobby. There's a whole area you can talk, and you won't be heard, and you won't be disrupting anybody. Performers, if you want to practice, there's a whole place backstage, but you need to actually be in that back room to not be heard and projected on the stage. So there is a place to practice. Please keep it back there, and note that if you're behind the curtain, you can be heard, much like any theater performance. I was forced into theater as a child, so I'm very aware of being quiet behind the curtain. Same applies here. And that is the basics of open mic night. It's all about respect, coming to watch some people perform and really being blown away by the level of talent to be found here. So let me stop talking and we will get on to my night at Open Mic Night. Alright, here we are in the audience of Open Mic Night. Now what can we expect to find here? Pretty much anything. It's Open Mic Night. Comedy, singing, music, any kind of performance. It can happen on this stage. And if you're not feeling like you are on par or as good as anyone else, then don't worry. Hopefully you're in that lobby that's really encouraging. Obviously it's VRChat. You're gonna get those hecklers and everything, but we'll get into that in a minute. Let's just start things out with this guy called Green Boot, who you are going to learn a little bit about in this video, who apparently comes here every week to sing his heart out. He's not the kind that we usually find here on VRChat, and he said himself that he feels like he doesn't really belong, but honestly, I 100% think that he does, and this is the perfect world for him, and I would like to share this clip with you now, so here it is.
One more guess.
35.
I'm 67.
You're 67?
I'm 67.
A little bit.
No way, bro.
I don't know.
Dude, you could have like.
I don't belong here, do I?
No, bro. You belong here. You belong here, bro. You could have made a career out of that, man.
Don't be afraid.
By the way.
Years old when the Beatles came to the United States and sang on the Ed Sullivan Show. Do the math. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. That's the Beatles.
Yeah.
Nailed it, girl.
All right, see what I mean? You're never too old for VRChat, especially here on Open Mic Night. Everybody really just wants to hear your talent, and I think that that was such a sweet experience. Unfortunately, I could only play one song, but that man was here singing his whole heart out, and I wanted to share more, but he was singing, unfortunately, copyright songs, which I can't share here on YouTube. But hopefully you'll come across him here in your Open Mic Night travels, and you'll get to hear some of those wholesome songs yourself, some old ones, some goodies, some classics, and it was really refreshing to hear some older songs too. And I just really wish I could share more, but unfortunately I have to abide by copyright. But just know that this man was out here singing out some classics, and it was just an amazing experience. Again, that I did not expect to find here, and I'm so glad that I did not miss out on that experience. I left the mirror, guys. 2022, we're gonna try and leave the mirror a bit more and experience more of what public worlds, not necessarily public worlds, but VRChat in general has to offer. Because I feel like VRChat has a lot to offer that I'm missing out on, and I want to experience more of it. So expect that in 2022 also from my channel. Back on track, talking less about myself. Shameless plugs done. Who is next on our list? Of course, my friend Goku, who I joined on in this lobby, is going to be next up for your little clip here. This was a chance meeting. Now, I was sitting in a different world looking at my friends list, and I saw this friend who I didn't really talk to when I first met him because I was a mute at that time. And I thought, you know what, let's take a chance. And I really wanted to hear him perform because he has the ukulele cat, and I remembered that he was a performer, but I don't think I got the opportunity to hear him perform. So knowing that he was here at Open Mic Night, it was just extra that I got to join on him and hear him perform because I was really hoping I get the chance to do that. So here's my friend Ukubre giving it his all on his little ukulele and singing his heart out, and it was just fantastic to finally witness that. So here's the clip.
Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she precious? Less than 1 minute old. I never thought through love we'd be making one as lovely as she. Isn't she lovely? Made from love. Isn't she pretty? Truly the angel's best. Boy, I'm so happy. We have been heaven blessed. I can't believe what God has done. Through us He's given life to one. Isn't she lovely? Made from love. Alright, that's it.
Clap it up for that man. Bro, that was a beautiful,
That was really
bro.
good.
Voice was angelic, man.
I hope you all enjoyed that as much as I did. There will be more songs played by Ukubre featured at the end of this video, and the same with the other performances that weren't copyright. And I really think that these performers deserve to be heard because they were really great. And I hope that one day they find my tiny little YouTube channel and they leave a comment so that I can correctly direct you to the right place, because this was a public instance. It's not super easy to track these people down, ask them about their YouTube, because I'm also trying to be quiet and respectful of the world around me, not get too up in their face and disrupt the performances too much, and trying to ask, oh, what's your social media? Yeah, I don't want to do that. So if you happen to be a performer in this video and you want credit, I will fully give it to you, and just send me a message that obviously prove to me that you're the one singing in the video, and I will gladly put links to your social media or whatever in the video, so that is not a problem. Provided you're wholesome people. Sorry, not saying you're not, but this is VRChat. We have to be careful, you know, play it safe, play it safe. Okay, for this next part, unfortunately, I do have to talk over it because it was a copyright song that the guy was singing, but this is Hank Hill as Goku, and I just had to feature it in my video because this man was a performer, and unfortunately every song he sang was a copyright, so I cannot put the song in the video, but as I'm talking now I will have the video playing over my lovely voice as I waffle on about nothing, and you get to enjoy the chaos because this man was just a absolute performer. He was going out into the crowd full body dancing, and everybody in the crowd was just going crazy, throwing emojis. And every time this guy went on stage, you knew it was just going to be a good time. There are different kind of performances here, you know, the kind of performances where you should be respectful and stay off stage, and then there's other performances where you feel like, you know, you can just go on there and have fun, and they'll sometimes invite you and be like, yo, come on here and have some fun. And this is one of those instances, you know, one of these guys where he was just here to have a good time, and boy did he. And we all had a good time too. He was really firing up the crowd every time he came on stage, and seeing Hank Hill Goku come and dance on stage was always just a pleasure. And yeah, definitely an experience you can only experience here in VRChat and open mic night. Now, you guys remember how earlier I said that this place could benefit from a really positive community Discord behind it? That's because there are plenty of people out there, talented people who want to perform, but they lack the confidence to do so because they're afraid of being heckled. And of course, this is VRChat, and you're going to get those people who think they're funny and being cool when they're really not, and they're just being disruptive and heckling and ruining the experience for everybody. But that aside, it can really help a person if they're feeling insecure sometimes, is if the lobby just gets behind them and lets them know, rallies behind them, which is what happened to us last night. We had a fairly positive lobby where we were trying to encourage people to get on stage, and we were kicking people who were being negative. We were keeping the positivity flowing. So if you have a community here of people trying to encourage each other, help them get through their fears, and so they can get on stage and really just have a fun time and perform. Sometimes just standing on stage with them can be a real help, but obviously trying to push them too hard will just make it worse. So try not to push people too hard, but give them that nice little encouragement they need to maybe get on stage and overcome that. Now, we did have someone who was suffering from that, and unfortunately when they got on stage we had that funny person who was throwing tomatoes at them and just generally being a jerk. Now, you can get mad, but I actually admire what this girl did. What she did was she kept singing. She ignored it, and she just kept singing. And you know what? She was fantastic, and it was wholesome to see, and everybody in the lobby was just trying to back her up. We got on stage, you know, let her know that we were enjoying it, and that those people just don't pay attention to them, just sing. Focus on the people who are here to listen and who are enjoying your performance. Just ignore the people who are just not worth your time, because they're just here to ruin everyone's day. So if you let them ruin your day, they win. So I actually commend her for that, because she had the courage to get up on stage in the first place and then continue singing, and I'm 100% good job. So now, I'm not going to give that person the glory of being in my video, so I just showed you the clip of the girl singing once I had blocked the person who was just being a jerk, because I don't want that person in my video, because they're not worth it. Now, I'd like to say that you all heard her performance, but unfortunately the song she sang was copyright, so I cannot feature it in this video, but just know that she sang her little heart out, and she was really good, and I commend her. Like, good job. Now, during my evening, I had, I believe, 3 different musicians come on, so I'd like to talk about those guys real quick. We had one guy come on and play the piano, another person came on and played the flute, and I cannot for the life of me remember what the last person played because it was an obscure instrument, but I will definitely have the person saying the name of the instrument in the clip. Now, it's definitely a unique instrument to hear, and I'm glad that I was here to experience it, and, you know, just something new. I'm sure I've heard that instrument before, but actually knowing what it was and hearing it, And they're two completely different things, and I would not expect to find that in VRChat. So I'm going to roll those short clips of those back to back for you guys. I'm going to keep them short because I know this video is going to be fairly long, and I would love to have the full performances, but sometimes I have had to cut up the video because it is a VRChat public world. And although I'm in the audience and you can't generally hear them on stage, if I'm in the audience, I can hear the audience around me. So I'm having to edit these videos around that. And of course, people find my camera and they have to wave and stand in front of the camera, and there's all that kind of moving around. I obviously wasn't telling people that I was recording, so some shorter clips for these performances, unfortunately, but nonetheless, they're definitely some gems that I would like to share with you guys. So let's roll those clips.
Okay, I don't really have anything prepared, to be honest. This is really my first time actually ever doing something like this. Really,
Nice.
I don't really
Take your time.
perform for anybody at all. 3, 2, 1.
So you'll remember Green Boot from the start of the video, proving that you're never too old to play in VR and you're never too old to come and perform for the masses and just blow everybody away. Well, let's go to the opposite side of the spectrum now, because I would like to introduce you guys to a special little someone from Afghanistan. His name is Peanut, and he was just fantastic. And of course, I'm going to show you guys a little Peanut and his little dancing friend in this next 2 clips. Actually, I'm gonna roll these 2 clips back to back. I would have put them on the end of the video anyway, but I'm just gonna go ahead and slap these 2 clips together. And you know what? I'm just gonna let little Peanut take it from here, because little Peanut is a showman, and he was very nice to let someone go before him, patiently wait his turn, and then just completely come on stage and be fantastic. So here you go, guys. Little Peanut.
Oh,
Stage is yours, dude.
you may
Am
go
I
do that.
next?
Yeah.
Am I next?
Yeah. Come on, Peanut.
Yeah,
Okay.
Peanut, go ahead, go in the front.
This is me and my best friend. We're doing a double performance.
Alright, go ahead.
Okay, I only have 30 minutes left before my brother uses the computer because he's eating his nuggets, so I can use the PC.
Nice. Nuggy.
Okay, to tell you a little about myself and my friend, I am from. I actually, when I was a baby, my tooth fell out, and then Santa. I'm gonna gonna be performing on my ukulele. I got the ukulele from Santa. Okay. And my friend here is gonna be dancing for me.
Woo!
Can you guys hear?
Yeah, we
Can you
can
guys
hear
hear them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys hear my uke?
Yeah, we can hear it. You're good.
I'm gonna be singing a song from my favorite show, and Backyardigan is my favorite show because they go on adventures.
Let's go.
Woo! Okay, I'm ready.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Out the ways, we don't out the ways. Ahoy there, ahoy, we all count the ways. We're stuck where we are, with no house, no car. Castaways, ahoy, we are castaways. We were out at sea on a sailing ship. The rain began to rain and the wind began to whip. We felt our ship tap and we're going down. We bailed out that boat so we wouldn't drown. Castaways, we are castaways. Out there, ahoy, we are castaways. An island at sea, just me and me. Castaways, ahoy, we are castaways. I'm done.
Kinanito, I have a request.
Hi guys.
I know the Peanut said he only had
Yo.
30 minutes left. Do you mind if he goes
Who's
first
next
so he
in
gets the
line?
chance?
Oh no, dude, they can for sure on.
Come on,
No,
Peanut.
it's okay. He can go first because I like mushrooms and he's a mushroom, so he can go first.
Nah,
We
man,
just don't want you
go
to run out of
first
time.
because-
It's fine. He's good.
Yeah, dude.
It's
you
It's
gotta
okay.
figure out your best performance.
My brother's playing on his iPad.
Oh, okay.
Don't you
Bring
worry.
on
Somebody has to play.
Come on, Peanut.
I weigh 60 pounds. I weigh 60 pounds.
You got it.
Peanut,
Sing.
Peanut.
Let's go, Peanut.
So guys, this is me and my trio. This is my trio. I met my trio in the park,
Afghanistan.
and they're my brother's friends.
Hell yeah.
So I wanna since baby my mom taught me a song on the ukulele before she left us because she went to the Philippines to do work. So this is my mom's favorite song. Okay? It's Beatles. Beatles. I like the Beatles. Okay. This is the Beatles by now I believe in how. Something in the stars that knows. No, I don't need no one. Something in the stars that showed me. I don't wanna leave now. You know I believe in how. Oh, You're asking me, will my world grow? I don't know. I don't I don't know. I don't know.
She moves. I love that song. Sing for Mom, see.
That's my...
Ay, may tao ba?
I'm
done.
He got banned.
Very good,
Dude, that was
Peanut.
very
Good
good.
job. Good job. Hello, I moved a little closer. I hope you guys enjoyed Peanut's performance there. I super love seeing kids just come on and have no fear like that, because as a child I was definitely not as competent as that. I'm still not as competent as that. Like, dang, that was just, it's always fantastic to see when a kid just gets up on stage and just loves what they do. It's always just a great thing to witness. And they're just here to have a good time, and they don't have all that anxiety and fear that we do as adults, and I apparently did as a child, and I am slowly working through. But that kid, he going places. He's a performer right there. Alright, well, I have plenty of other clips to show you guys, and I'm gonna slap those on to the end of this video, as I said, because they deserve to be heard. And there are several different songs from several different people that I can show without copyright issues, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But I'm gonna cut my talking segment here because I have talked for long enough, and I feel it's an open mic night and the acts should do the rest of the talking for me and just show you guys the amazing stuff that can be found here and why open mic night deserves a revival, deserves a second chance. I can see it trying to make a comeback, but I would love to see open mic night come back stronger than it was before. Give people a safe place to perform, and really just a hub for performers to hang out at and encourage each other to get better. I'm sure a lot of people in VRChat got their start here. Now, if you're not a performer and you're thinking this video doesn't apply to you, well, you are wrong, because you know performers need an audience. They need that positive audience to be here and just come listen to them. Come hang out at open mic night. And if you're bored one night and you're sick of that mirror, there's definitely plenty of talent to be found here at open mic night. So I ask you guys to be that audience. If you're not a performer and you guys are just hanging out in front of a mirror and you're kind of bored, drop by open mic night. But of course, be respectful. If you guys feel like you want to talk, head into one of the places where you can do that. But this is definitely a place to come and chill. Even if you're just on your own and you're kind of sick of the black cat, drop by open mic night, because I'm sure there's some performances and great experiences to be found here. Show some love to open mic night, everybody. Definitely deserved. Let's revive some of these old classics, because they are definitely deserving. There are some forgotten gems in VRChat. Just because a world is old doesn't mean it's bad. It's a little dusty, it's a bit of a fixer-upper. But I feel if there's anywhere where a place like this can be revived, it's in VRChat. And I would love to see that revival happen. VRChat is not just a place of dramatic stories and other content that you know what I'm talking about. I don't need to say it. It's a place of infinite possibility, infinite places to visit, infinite creativity, and a place where people can be discovered and really have a chance to grow. As I said, a platform of endless possibility. So let's start taking advantage of that possibility and really showing support to places like this, because they 100% deserve it. With that said, I'm going to end my talking segment here, but the video is not done. As I said, I'm going to leave you with performer clips to roll out through the rest of this video. I'm just done talking and driving you guys all insane. I'm just going to close out this video with a classic. All the world's a stage. Let's not waste it.
And I just wanna be the one you love, and with your admission that you feel the same, I'll have reached the goal I'm dreaming of. Believe me, I don't wanna set the world on fire. I just wanna start a flame in your heart. And with your admission that you feel the same, I'll reach the goal I'm dreaming of. Believe me. You remind me of a Sunday back home in old Kentucky. The church choir's just belting to the pines. And I love you like the mountains loves the way the morning opens to a soft and bright greeting from the sun. So if it makes you stay, I wouldn't act so angry all the time. I wouldn't keep it all inside, and I'd let you know how much I loved you every day. So darling, will you stay right here and shake this frost off of my bones? Well, I used to ride a Mustang, and I'd run that thing on high hopes, till they raised the price of dreams so high I couldn't pay. So I let that car just sit there when I should have took you driving, with the windows down while the music played. So if it make you stay, I wouldn't act so angry all the time. I wouldn't keep it all inside, and I'd let you know how much I loved you every day. So darling, will you stay right here? Shake this frost off of my bones. Darling, will you stay right here and shake this frost off of my bones?
On a tropical island, underneath the molten lava moon, hanging with the hula dancers, asking questions cause they got all the answers. Putting on the lotion, sitting by the ocean, yeah, rubbing it on my body, rubbing it on my body. Get me out of this cage, cause it's nothing but a gladiator grave. And if I stick to the plan, I think I'll turn into a lava man. I think I'll turn into a lava man. I think I'll turn into a lava man.
I'm the strong one, I'm not nervous. I'm as tough as the crust of the earth is. I move mountains, I move churches, and I glow cause I know what my worth is. I don't ask how hard the work is. Got a rough, indestructible surface. Diamonds and platinum, I find them in a platinum. Take what I'm handed, I break what's demanded. But under the surface, I feel... Oh my god, I fucked up. Fuck. Under the surface, I feel berserk as a tightrope walker in a 3-ring circus. Under the surface, was Hercules ever like, yo, I don't wanna fight service? Under the surface, I'm pretty sure I'm worthless if I can't be of service. A flaw or a crack, a straw on the stack. What breaks a camel's back? What breaks a camel's back is special like a drip, drip, drip till never stop. Whoa, pressure that'll tip, tip, tip till you just go pop. Whoa, give it to your sister's older. Give her all the heavy things that we can't shoulder. Who am I if I can't run with the ball? If I fall to pressure like a grip and it won't let go. Whoa. Pressure like a tick, tick, tick till it's ready to blow. Whoa, give it to your sister's stronger. See if she can hang on a little longer. Who am I if I can't carry it all? If I falter under the surface, I've been nerves and it worsens. I worry something's gonna hurt us under the surface. The ship doesn't swerve as I heard how big the iceberg is under the surface. I think about my purpose, can I somehow preserve this? Line up the dominoes, a light wind blows. You try to stop it tumbling, but on it goes. But wait, if I could say the crushing weight of expectations, would that free some room up for joy or relaxation or simple pleasure? Instead we measure this growing pressure. Keep growing, keep going, 'cause all we know is pressure like a drip, drip, drip that'll never stop. Wow, pressure that'll tip, tip, tip till you just go pop. Whoa, give it to your sister, it doesn't hurt, and see if she can handle every family burden. Watch as she buckles and bends but never breaks. No mistakes, just pressure like a grip, 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 and it won't let go. Whoa, pressure like a tick, 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 and it's ready to blow. Whoa, give it to your sister and never wonder if the same pressure would have pulled you under. Who am I if I don't have what it takes? No cracks, no breaks, no mistakes, no pressure.
But he's gonna tell me I can. I've been loading on this couch, just sitting in my snuggie. Let the wet TV so they can teach me how to doggy. So in my castle, I'm the freaking man. Oh, and yes, I said it, cause I can. 'Cause today I don't feel like doing anything. Oh, and I just wanna lay in my bed. Don't feel like picking up my phone. Leave a message at the tone. Hey, I swear I'm not doing anything. At all. I'll wake up to some P90X, meet a really nice girl, some really nice sex. She's gonna scream out, this is great. Oh my god, this is great, yeah. But I mess around and get my college degree. Bet my old man will be so proud of me. But sorry, Pops, you'll just have to wait. Oh, and yes, I said it, cause I can. 'Cause today I don't feel like doing anything. Oh, and I just wanna lay in my bed. Don't feel like picking up my phone. Leave a message at the tone. Hey, I swear I'm not doing anything. No, I'm not gonna comb my hair, so I ain't going anywhere. No, 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 no. I'll just strut in my birthday suit and everything, yeah. 'Cause today I don't feel like doing anything. Oh, and I just wanna lay in my bed. Don't feel like picking up my phone. Leave a message at the tone. 'Cause today, swear I'm not doing anything. Nothing at all. Ooh, 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 ooh. Nothing at all. I say, ooh, 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 ooh. Nothing at all. Ooh, 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 ooh. Nothing at all.
You remind me of a Sunday back home in old Kentucky. The church choir's just belting to the pines. And I love you like the mountains. Love's the way the morning opens to a soft and bright greeting from the sun. So if it makes you stay, I wouldn't act so angry all the time. I wouldn't keep it all inside, and I'd let you know how much I loved you every day. So darling, will you stay right here and shake this frost off of my bones? Well, I used to ride a Mustang, and I'd run that thing on high hopes, till they raised the price of dreams so high I couldn't pay. So I let that car just sit there, when I should have took you driving, with the windows down, while the music played. So if it make you stay, I wouldn't act so angry all the time. I wouldn't keep it all inside, and I'd let you know how much I loved you every day. So darling, will you stay right here? Shake this frost off of my bones. Darling, will you stay right here and shake this frost off of my bones?
Sheesh. No, calm down back here, Hank Hill. Who we got next?
Can I go?
Singing cat. Singing cat. It's a singing cat, everyone. The stage is yours, brother.
Goodness gracious.
Alright.
Get it?
Yeah, excellent.
This one goes out to Nate the Great, 40, right in front of me. Alright. When you were here before, couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. You float like a feather in a beautiful world. Why is there a Spider-Man behind me? You're so fucking special. I wish I was special, but I'm a creep.
Sir, get out, bro.
Yeah, I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? Yeah, I don't belong here. I don't care if it hurts. I wanna have control. I want a perfect body. I want a perfect soul. I want you to notice when I'm not around. You're so fucking special. I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. Yeah, I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? You're so fucking special. I wish I was special. But I'm a creep. Yeah, I'm a rhythm. What am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't belong here. Thank you.
Give it up for the singing cat. That was beautiful.
Oh, I can't do this. Oh. Oh.
You got this, bro. You got this, bro. Let's go.
Oh, my love, my darling, I've hungered for your touch a long, lonely time. And time goes by so slowly, and time can do so much. Are you still mine? I need your love. I need your love. Godspeed your love to me. Lonely rivers flow to the sea, to the sea, to the open arms of the sea. Lonely rivers cry, wait for me, wait for me. I'll be coming home, wait for me. Oh, my love, my darling, I've hungered for your touch a long, lonely time. And time goes by so slowly, and time can do so much. Are you still mine? I need your love. I need your love. Godspeed